I have all the feels, okay? All the feels. Actually, I'm heartbroken because I cannot believe that this happened.
What do you want for Christmas?
Hose.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. It's day 3 of Bookmas. Okay, today we're gonna talk about my favorite books that I've read so far in 2025. So my top 10 books of 2025, in no particular order because I read a lot of books. I think I've completed like over 70 books so far this year. My goal was 50. I do count audiobooks, but I also didn't read, like I didn't like get back into listening to a lot of audiobooks until the last couple of weeks. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Baby, number 1, first and foremost, can't get enough. Huge fan of Kennedy Ryan. If you have not read the Skyland series, get into it. This is Hendrik's story, which is one of the group of friends, or one of the women out of the group of friends, that's just navigating a lot. She is dealing with her familial issues. She has this idea of what her life is going to look like, and she's not a woman that's like fitting into what society says they should be. So like how society says that a woman should behave or should live or should act and all those things, that's not her. Very much about her business, but also very much like a woman, a girl's girl. And this one right here honestly was probably like my favorite. Ooh, and your girl got a signed copy. Yes. Loved this book. So the back says, she lives a fabulous life, has phenomenal friends, loving family, thriving business. In the midst of everything, she's facing her toughest challenge, caring for an aging parent. I will say there were parts of this book that really pissed me off, and it was and I think it was because I really wanted for Hendrix to get everything that she wanted. I wanted her to like thrive in the way that she wanted her life to go. And I just felt like people kind of gave her their butt to kiss because they felt like she didn't fit this mold. So yeah, but love the book. Love the book. Actually, I think that's the only book that made me cry this year. Oh, I lied. That's not the only book that made me cry this year. I also cried from, which is one of my other top books for this year. It's called Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. That one literally had me, jaw on the floor, because I was like, I know you lying. I know you lying. I was sick. Like, that book was so good. So it was a second chance romance, and you really just like, are y'all gonna get us together? You like, bro, clearly not. Wrap this up, right? Wrong. And the way that it ended, I just knew. I was like, this is gonna be, you know, like one of those Hallmark fluffy, I love it, you know, all of it. Wrong. And when I called my sister, I called my sister and was like, I'm finna cry. Actually, I'm heartbroken because I cannot believe that this happened. I told her all about it. My sister's not really a reader, and I was just like, girl, but why? But like, anyway, so it's called Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. I told one of my friends to read the book as well, and she was like, I am traumatized. She was like, I'm traumatized. I need to emotionally recover from that book. So this is your fair warning that like your heart is going to be on the floor, okay? But it's so good, y'all. It's so good. I will say, if you tend to get a little annoyed, if you tend to get a little annoyed with like the back and forth of second chance romance, then you may be a little irritated, but it's still worth the read. I definitely say it's still worth the read. But I personally didn't mind it. I loved it. I had moments where I was cracking up. So yes. Ooh, okay. So I think I told y'all already that in another video, that I have really been into like my mafia, like rough, you know what I'm saying, the type of books. And so Jaquel J is a new author that I've come across this year, and baby girl got me down bad. Okay, down bad. So I started with the Delgado series, or the part 1, which is Capone, one of the brothers, his story. And at this point, the whole I haven't even finished the series. I'm in part 2. I'm in Capadonna's life experience, but bravo, okay? Because if she did anything, she did that. I I had times where I was literally like laughing. I was like, oh my gosh, my chest. Oh my gosh, are they gonna be okay? Like, it's full of action, full of just a lot. I don't even know. With the Capone series, I feel like it tugged on your heart because there was a lot of like real life tied into it. So with Erin's story and the things that happened with her family, with things that happened with her little brother Jaden, with how Capone's trying to handle things while also staying true to himself. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I love them. Okay, like at this point, make me a Delgado. Make me a Delgado, because I just feel like I can be a distant cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like third removed or something like that. But like, I have really been enjoying those books. And then next up, we are going to go with a thriller, mystery thriller. It's called Do What Godmother Says. And y'all, I went into this kind of blind. I actually got this on a girls trip, and loved the cover, really, right? It was really good. So I don't want to like give any spoilers. So okay, so pretty much there is one of the main characters, I guess the female main character, her name's Shanice, and she kind of has just like a lot going on. She's like, what the heck, things are like going left for me. But she inherits this painting, or she takes this painting from her grandmother that she finds as she was helping her grandmother clean out her home. And she learns that like there's a lot of history to the painting. So it follows the story of the artist and the current living female main character. And then we actually find out how they're intertwined and the things that people did to cover up some other things. I almost told y'all. But she is like being stalked, and she's like, I don't know what's happening, and she's like terrified. I will say there were times where I was like, my heart is like pounding, because I was like, is she gonna be okay? Because my girl can't die. Yeah. So, and then how I thought I figured out who it was and what was going on, and then I learned that I was actually wrong. Oh, and then when you thought that you knew, baby, you didn't know. You didn't know. You did not know. So I actually had a lot of fun with that. And I read that like over the summer, so it was nice like leading into like the fall season. If you are a big fan of banter, Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. I don't know, I just feel like anything Danielle Allen, like I'm just gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have a grand old kiki, okay? It was so good. And if you have read Curvy Girl Summer and enjoyed that, there is some spice, but if you read Curvy Girl Summer and enjoyed that, then you're gonna love Plus Size Player. I just feel like you can kind of tell she evolved more as a writer. But the banter alone, I was like giddy, okay? And I just, I don't know. It was a good old time. But basically, there's this girl or a young woman, and she is a plus size woman, and she's into fashion modeling. She's like building her brand, and she's just very confident in who she is as a person. And it carries us through her like dating life and falling in love and really just evolving as a woman into all the things that she wants for herself, and going after them and getting them, and not letting anybody stand in her way. It was so much fun. Like, I finished that book. I ate that book up, y'all. I think I actually read that one on my Kindle, but I mean, ate it up. Like, it was so good. I was just like, period. Period. I read Block Shop by Kennedy Ryan. Again, I'm a Kennedy Ryan. Listen, we stand, okay, for Kennedy over here on this account. And that was part of the Hoop series. I just the way that like Kennedy be having me blushing reading her books, I'm just I'm just like, but it's like I have all the feels, okay? All the feels. I feel frustrated. I feel angry. I am like, my heart is like mourning and joyful and all these things for these fictional characters. So yeah. Do with that what you will, okay? Do with that what you will. But yeah, so with Blockshot, it's a second chance romance, which clearly has been the theme of 2025 for me. Okay, I'm not even a spin the block type of girl, but baby, we're spinning the block in these books, okay? But yeah, so they have a very complicated past and like very like intense chemistry, but there's some triggers in there of like DV and sexual assault and things like that. But it's a really good read, like really good read. So if you are on the fence, you're not really sure if you're like a romance girl, I definitely recommend Danielle Allen if you like banter and you just want to have like a fun time. But if you want some things with a little bit more depth, I definitely recommend picking up Kennedy Ryan. Next we have Children of Blood and Bone, and I think I really enjoyed this because it kind of put me in the mind of Black Panther, like the movie, but it was in a book, and it was young adults, but pretty much there's different groups of people, and one group has powers, one group does not, and it's pretty much talking about the conflict that they are undergoing, and the attempt to regain those powers and the things that happened throughout their community while they were engaging in conflicts. It's definitely of more fantasies on the fantasy side, but I don't know, I think it was just so like blackety black, which is why I loved it. I was not the biggest fan of the second book. I felt like it was rushed. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the second book, but I really enjoyed the first one. So if you're okay with like not finishing a series, then I definitely still say pick it up. Or if you are into fantasy, I mean, it wasn't bad. The second book wasn't horrible. It was just more so I'm reading this because I read the first one and I just want to know what happened. But I don't feel like it really gave full answers for me personally. So that was one of my biggest gripes, and then I felt like there was a lot in there that we just could have done without. But that's just me. And then I read By the Book. This is like a Beauty and the Beast spinoff. It was so cute. It was really giving Hallmark. There's no spice. So if you're like, I don't want no spice, I'm tired of y'all being freaky deaky, you're gonna definitely pick that one up, because it was just cute. It was just cute. And if you know the story of Beauty and the Beast, then it's like a modern spin-off of that. And basically there's this, is she an editor, writer, editor, publishing? She works in publishing. And there's this like famous person that's supposed to be writing a book, and he's behind. They're thinking about like clipping the book all together, and she's basically like, hey, I'll help him get it done. And so it goes through that process of them doing that, and then, you know, they fall in love. And it's just cute. That one also had me giggling and kicking my feet and just blushing. I was clearly doing a lot of that this year, but don't judge me. Queen of Shadows was like a high ranked book for me. So I went down like a fantasy like tunnel last year, and then it just like rolled into this year. So I was knocking out the Throne of Glass series, and I actually don't even think I finished. I think I have a couple more because I started to get like burnt out with Throne of Glass. But book four, I was like, my heart is in my behind. It was just like all the things. And I don't want to like tell what happened because it's not like the first book or like the last book. So pretty much though, is we getting after it, and we're not gonna roll over and just take the things that are happening to us. It was good. Definitely enjoyed it. And honestly, I think I'm like hit or miss with fantasy. I do enjoy fantasy, and I think I enjoy fantasy because like I also really love fiction. I like diving into other people's worlds, and I like kind of just not having such heavy topics all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy fantasy, but I do feel like some of it is just like a little superfluous. Like, come on, bro. But that one was so good. I enjoyed it. And then our last book. This is our last one, right? 10? 10 to 10? Yes. Only for the week. Yeah. Quick, short, cute, very cute read. Basically there's this destination wedding, and they think it's gonna be real easy. The sister of the bride is also the ex-girlfriend of the groom. So the sister is marrying the other sister's ex. Yeah. But basically she's a maid of honor, and her sister doing the most when it comes to this wedding. I mean, like the most. And the family is like kind of tiptoeing around her feelings because they know like, dang, that was kind of messed up. She really shouldn't be with this man, but you know, neither here nor there. And then the best man act like he just can't stand the maid of honor, and she like, bro, what's beef? Because like we barely interacted, but he like would go out of his way to just avoid her. Basically they ended up realizing like they have a lot of chemistry, and they're like, okay, well, this can only last for the week. This can only last for the time that we're here for this wedding. Hilarious. Definitely love it. It says, what happens in Tulum doesn't always stay in Tulum. For Rome Martin, Janelle has always been off limits. She's his best friend's ex, and Rome is nothing if not loyal. but he's never been able to get her off his mind, and now he might finally have a chance to win her over. As the wedding brings them together, every kiss, adventure, and stolen moment feels right. Janelle and Rome agree to live in the moment, but are they willing to risk it all for forever? So, yes, very cute. But that concludes this video. Those were my top 10 reads so far for 2025. We only have what, like 15 days, 16 days left in the year, and I'm probably just going to be continuing to dive into the Delgado family. But yeah, so that wraps up my top 10 books for 2025. I really appreciate you continuing to journey with me during Bookmas, and I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, let me know in the comments if you read any of these books, or if you hated any of these books. And then give me like your top 3 books for 2025. What have you absolutely loved and you feel like I need to read in 2026? Thanks, guys.